permanent voter cards is an integral part of the election process. Simply put, no permanent voter card, the PVC, no voting. Since 12th December 2022, INEC has given eligible voters ample opportunities to pick up their voter cards. Not only did the Commission shift the deadline from the 22nd of January to today, the 29th of January, but it also devolved the collection of PVCs towards level. The PVCs have now, however, been moved back to local government councils across the country. On Frontline today, we will be assessing the exercise extensively, especially some of the bottlenecks that may have likely reduced the success story of the exercise, and also examine the impact of collaborative efforts with INEC that affected the process. And who best to do this but the State Director of the National Orientation Agency in Edo State here, and he is, like I like to call him, a friend of Frontline, is Austin Odili. Sir, you're welcome to Frontline.
Thank you very much. I guess it's not too late to wish you a happy new year. You and your crew, happy new year to you all.
Well, this is still January, yes, so it's not too late.
It's my pleasure as usual to be here.
Okay, so sir, let's start by assessing. We know this is the last day. We still have some few hours to, rounding off the exercise. How would you assess the process of the PVC collection?
Well, I'll say so far so good. We know we have, let me say, 24 hours to the deadline for the collection. But like you said, what we are doing is like an appraisal of the entire process, how it has been, whether there have been challenges, if there were challenges, and these challenges were actually looked into and rectified. I want to start by commending the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, the electoral umpire, for doing at least a good job appreciably this time. I think that they have upped their game, maybe because of the determination of the commission at least to etch its name, gold, not on running water, at least to leave behind what I call an everlasting legacy. Because if you look at the previous exercises, for example, thank God to technological advancement that they have actually introduced into the electoral process. I think that has actually dilated, the process to make it, let me say, easier and accessible. Because for the first time, at least instead of people crowding, registration centers, they opened a portal that you could go online to register. After registration, you print out your registration form, and then with a date there, and then before you now go to the INEC office for biometric capture. That first of all at least reduced that crowd, you understand, of enthusiastic registrants or eligible voters. Having done the whole of that, it was done over in phases until the last one was done between June and July last year. And then they now commenced the printing of these cards. And then, of course, they started releasing them until the final release of the cards were done. And then before the commencement of the general collection, which commences on the 12th of December to end tomorrow, which is the 29th of this month, January, after the initial, set date of 22nd. I will say that, the mentality of us Nigerians, even if you had given a year, for example, there will still be complaints because of our peculiar nature as human beings. We are told that, God created the heaven and earth and everything therein. Then he created man. Man was the last creature he created, but you discover that since he created man, neither man himself nor God has rested. So that's just to show to you, to tell you the complexity, the complex nature of man. Be that as it may, actually, at the commencement of the collection, there were hiccups, there were challenges. But like they say, challenges are not insurmountable, they are surmountable. At least INEC set up help desks. And then, of course, we partner, we collaborate. INEC and the National Orientation Agency, at least doing the foremost advocacy organ of government. So we promptly, even before then, at least, have been in the field, you understand, in the rural areas.
So we'll come to, the collaborative effort between INEC and NOAA. So let's just assess the exercise.
Okay, so because we monitor too, apart from giving information, we monitor at least how the exercise is going, and then to report challenges, which we document and then send to headquarters and then to the electoral umpire, so that at least they will look at them and then make amends, at least to
prepare for
to bridge, to fill the gaps and then to ensure a seamless collection. So far so good. At least it's been very good. Now when they started at the electoral at the local government headquarters.
Yes.
Then because of outcry from persons, for example, one, because of the rugged terrain, the bad roads, and of course the poverty in the land, and of course this lingering fuel crisis has been there and it is still there. So I think this is what actually prompted INEC, you understand, to devolve the collection into the wards, and then it became mobile.
And so you were saying something earlier about some of the, you touched a little on the challenge that was encountered. I would like to know, there were reports of allegations of discriminatory issuance of the PVC in some locations, and of course I heard on the radio that there were reports from a particular local government, I'm not going to mention that local government now, of allegations of extortion. Do you think these bottlenecks, in any way affected the exercise?
Of course. This, you see, let me tell you, because for the first time, Nigerians are enthusiastic. They are upbeat about this election. You understand? You see the surge of a particular demographic, let me say the youths. You understand? So like who just rediscovered themselves, or who just woke up from their slumber to say, oh, they say the future belongs to us. If we don't rise up now, take up the gauntlet and face the challenge, our being the leaders of tomorrow will become an illusion. Will become illusory. You understand? So there was a deluge, you understand, of youths to register who were above 18.
Yes.
Those who were hitherto reluctant, who were apathetic to the whole show. But I think they were, to me, galvanized by the event of the last quarter of 2020, the NSAS riot that swept across the country. So it was a kind of reawakening call for the youth. So having said that, a lot of persons registered. And then so you expect that with that same enthusiasm, when it was time to collect. There was being just one center at the, for example, in Edo State, there were just 18 centers. And don't forget that Edo State is large, whether you like it or not, it's large. You understand? And you have some rugged terrains, you understand? Some communities are far flung from the local government headquarters. So the difficulties in accessing some persons who came from these far flung areas, getting to the collection center, we told that, oh, you need to come tomorrow, nobody to attend to. That was initially that the way we were harassed at the gates, or the crowd at the gates, was not manageable and all the rest, you understand. So those were some of the challenges. Of course, in every situation in Nigeria, there are some persons who just latch up and, to make...
Want to take advantage.
They want to take advantage. That was exactly what happened. The INEC workers for it, I'm not standing in for them, but I know at least they have, they have been handed down very strict warning instructions. They know the rules. They are public officers. There's a ground norm, the public service rule, that guides the conduct of public officers. And these people are sworn on oaths. You know how, sacred, you understand, that exercise is. So anything that would jeopardize it will imperil the conduct of the election. So the chairman of the commission has said in very clear terms, he read the riot act to his staff, to the staff of the commission, that anyone who is found found wanting, definitely will face the wrath of the law if found guilty. And that is exactly what they are doing. That's why I say they set up a help desk. Some of the challenges as we went around, one, the crowds at the respective INEC offices in the local governments. And then of course, it's the security officers, maybe, and these security officers, I'm sure, I don't know if they're employees of INEC. If they were, at some of them, their conducts, you understand, were irritating. to those maybe who have been there waiting for hours. You understand? Because it's like you have to be accredited, you call before you go in. That is one. They did not show, some of them did not show courtesy. You understand? Of course, that did not go down well with people. Then two, that at the beginning, is either most of these cars were not there or there was no proper sorting.
Okay.
You understand? But when we went around, actually, it varies from location to location. They had different decks. You understand? I think it was segregated into Ward 1, Ward 2, Ward 3, Ward 4 to Ward 12, because some local government area like Oredo, for example, has 12 wards. There are some other local government that has 10 wards. That is the least, and then the highest is 12. So you come in at least which ward, and then you show your slip, and then they sort out your card and then they give to you. The places I visited, for example, the allegation that there are extortions, we heard, but I did not witness.
Okay.
Like I said, it is not impossible that it could happen. But some people could be impersonating INEC staff. There's this thing we call long leg or connection. I have connection. Because you could be working there, I know you are my friend, and then I see somebody who want to call, I say, well, don't worry, just give me your slip. I know somebody there. You understand? I could even pick money from that person. You are not aware. I will come and say, oh, my sister, my dear, I beg, help me with this card. You understand? And then, of course, you help out innocently. To the person who has collected card, the original owner of the PVC has that opinion, false opinion that you have collected money.
INEC staff that
collected that money. A lot of this do happen, and it happens around airports.
And that actually really, discouraged some. Some people.
Yes.
So let's move on now. You also said something, earlier. Do you think the devolution of the PVC collection to ward level, do you think it helped you in any way?
Yes, it helped a great deal. Let me use my local government as an example. Because Akoko Edo is the largest and the oldest local government in the country.
Okay.
And very large, you understand? So, and it has very rugged terrain. For example, Igara is the local government headquarters. You have communities like Ikakumo. For you to leave Ikakumo to come to Igara to collect, say, okay, for the purpose of collection of that, for anything at all, you are going to expend not less than 8,000 naira for transport within the local government. And that is the truth. Not to talk of Ate, Somorika, Ugbe, Ososo, Igbetwa. So you can imagine, like, Ovia Southwest, Ikbubauha, and Ovia Northeast, for example. There are areas that are riverine.
Yes.
You have Isako Central, Isako East. You have Isan Southeast, that you have riverine, Ifwe Islands, and all the rest. How do you expect somebody? You need to board a boat, take a boat or a canoe before you touch land. No commercial at times, is only bike. So these are the challenges. But at the time, they did not just devolve to the wards. They selected communities within the wards with their mobile distribution, vehicle, you understand, to ensure that they bring the collection of this card nearer to the people. So it helped, in short, I think that was the game changer, honestly, because it kind of reduced the tension in the local government area offices of INEC. It took the pressure off them.
Okay, so that also had, should I say, a little bit of negative effect, because like you said, the Nigerian factor. We witnessed last week there was should I say collection apathy now. Reports came in with a lot of these centers empty and INEC waiting for people to come and collect their PVC. So what actually changed the tempo? Is it the Nigerian factor now?
You see, let me tell you, just like before this latest registration, INEC over time has repeatedly told us that there are 450,000 cards uncollected. So you begin to ask, the first question is, are these people still alive? If they are, where are they? It could be that because of the window open for transfer of cards, some must have actually transited. They must have died. Some must have actually transferred their cards. Because when you transfer your card, the old card is still there. Anytime they want to take a record it will still be there collected or uncollected, you understand? So there are a lot of reasons, for example, why those cars could still be there. Then like this one to say at a point, INEC staff were waiting for owners of PVC to come and collect them. What of these people are no longer in that environment? Which is a possibility. You understand? What of if they traveled? What of if they have equally transited? These are issues to look at. If suddenly there was a crowd and then suddenly the thing tapers, it's just like law of diminishing returns. You are thirsty and then the first bottle, the first glass of water, you see, you take it in a gulp. At the time they give you the second one, you begin to drink slowly. You understand? I think that is what must have happened. But then you could still see that in some other area it was like there was no dull moment.
Yes.
Because you have high density areas, you have low density areas. Their party, sufficiently we've been able to deal with that issue of apathy. Because the people are now conscious, they are aware now that their PVC is actually their armored personnel carrier to break down the barrier of oppression, of oppressive rule, or whatever rule they imagine is not favorable to them. That it is their voice, their power to democratically elect a leader of their choice. So that is why I say people are enthusiastic to collect the card. You discover even the case of some persons, grazing the palms of INEC staff, allegations, and then for them to collect by proxy, not just one, not just two, because the social media is awash with cases like that. There's a case in point in Lagos, for example, where the lady's picture is trending, that she collected money and gave several thousands of cards to a particular political party, which I will not name. You understand? These are in the social media, they are in the public domain. But has anybody actually verified this to be true? Because I know that INEC said actually they have cases of extortion. They are investigating, and that at the end of their investigation, they will let Nigerians know. Because they have their internal mechanism at least to deal with issues like that, using extant provisions of the law.
All right. So some state governors actually declared public holiday.
Yes.
This is to enable civil servants to get their PVC, and so yet there are some calls from some people that INEC should once again extend the deadline. What do you think about this?
No, I think that call for further extension to me is unreasonable. It's my opinion, because you discover an average in Nigeria, like I said, we have this negative mindset that is either it will not work or they will always extend them. You understand? Permit me to just digress. Do you know this extension by INEC is telling on this Naira redesign and the deadline, which is 31st of this month on Tuesday. A lot of persons, as you go around, they say, forget, that's why INEC first grandstand, they say they're not going to extend, they not extend them. Now, Nigeria we dey. Exactly. When the right person talk, they go extend them. Even with a video of Mr. President trending, where he said that 31st is sacrosanct. There is not going to be an extension. One of my officers, as I was just driving down, called me from the field to say, he's in the market and not that the news in the market, they are telling him that you see they here, they thought at first that it has been extended. Which date? He said they just said it has been extended. I said, look, are you to tell them the information, or they are to tell you that this call you are calling, you are putting across to me could end a query?
Yes.
You understand? So that is the mentality of Nigeria. Even if you say you are going to give the latitude till the 24th of February for people to collect cards, people will still complain that there was, time did not do for me. I was busy. I've been going here. That is the mentality. Look, let us respect our laws. That is the greatest challenge we have. Lack of respect for the rule of law. And the thing has actually, upstaged the apple cart. Because when you knowingly breach the law, it touches, it's just like one finger that brings oil. What happens to the rest finger? It soils them. We must first of all learn to obey. When we obey, you discover that things will just go smoothly. This idea, this mindset we have that you know, go walk, then must extend them. We need to kill it. We need to do something to kill it. If not, it will kill us.
Okay, so sir, as an agency mandated with, you have the core mandate to sensitize people. Did your agency play any role at all in, the success story of this PVC exercise?
Of course, because one, like I said, we are the foremost advocacy organ of government. What do we do is to communicate government policies, programs, and activities to the people to make sure to ensure their proper understanding, and then to mobilize them to take ownership and then support to make a success out of it. Before then, it was voter information we were given. Okay, if you are 18 years and above, there's a window of opportunity for you to go and register. If you have registered before and it was incomplete, what you need to do is to update. If you have a damaged card that the card reader, the defunct card reader could not read, go and upgrade it. Not upgrade now, go and renew it. Just go for replacement. Let me use that. That's a better word. Go for a replacement. And then if you know you have moved for where you registered before, you are now in a new place and there is a distance, and on election day, at least whether you like it or not, there will be restriction of movement. And then so for such persons, you can transfer your card from your old place to your new place. This was the voter information we gave, and then the location for registration. And then what you need to do, you must be 18 years and above, you must be a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, because foreigners are prohibited. They are barred from registering. They are aliens. So now after the registration, immediately the distribution commenced, unless we changed the key messages. What we're now telling the people, if you know you registered between so and so till July of last year, your cards are ready. Proceed to the INEC office in your local government area with your slip, because they gave you a kind of slip, small ticket, you understand, with your data, with your data. Just take it there, and then, because at every collection point, they had the register. So you check, if your name is there, just present it, and then they will search out your card, thumbprint, and then they give you your card, and then you go away. And that you cannot collect, there's no collection of these cards by proxy. Because if you do, if you are caught, it's an offense. Of course, a lot of persons have been arrested with so many cards. And how they got them, that is what I don't know. That's left for the security agencies to unravel, you understand? But these are the information at least, and then we're getting daily updates from INEC, like when they devolve to the wards. They will send us the locations where they will be in every ward, in the 192 wards across the states. And then we're promptly, through the social media, and then through our channels in the communities, we're letting people know. And then we had dedicated lines, like I was not resting. Okay, Oga or sir, I'm from so ward. Where are we going? I'll just, give me a minute. I'll look at record. If you're calling from Ovia, for example, the roving whatever for that day, I'll ask you, which ward are you? Where are you from? That's okay. Go to so. You understand? So
your lines were open to
yes,
calls.
our lines were open, and those of our local government officers, we call them community orientation and mobilization officers. Even my office here, the people are strolling in daily. You are not to come and ask.
So your work is not done. We still have a few hours before the exercise ends. And so what's your message?
Yeah, this is the peak now. At least, like I said, we have, let me say, 24 hours to be the deadline to come to the end of the collection. We are just still appealing to citizens of Edo State, whether you are a citizen, provided you are a resident in Edo State and you registered. If you registered and then you transferred your card, or you apply for replacements, all these cards, category of cards are available for collection. It's just one card. Whether you are replacing, whether you are transferring, is the same PVC, or is a fresh registration, please proceed to the nearest collection point in your local government, in the area where you register, to go and pick your card. Because INEC has told us now that there is a game changer called the Bimotor Voters Accreditation System, BVAS. BVAS is unlike the card reader. During the card reader, once the card reader fails to authenticate to pick your thumbprint, they give you an incident form. You could vote. But now, that has been eliminated. Now, the BVAS, what it does so many things. Number one, it will pick your thumbprint. If it fails, it will take your facials. If the beaver takes your facials, your profile will show, which means you are the original owner of that card. If these two fails, bye-bye, there will be no, in short, you have disenfranchised yourself, which means you even run the risk of being arrested for possessing a card that is not your own.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Director, State Director, National Orientation Agency, Austin Ojide, for assessing the PVC exercise with us, and also using this last moment to call on eligible voters to go out there and pick up their PVC. And that is how it has been on Frontline today. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
It's always a pleasure to be with you.
Okay, so please do join us again for another episode of Frontline. For now, bye-bye.